The political earthquake that shook South Africa this week came with the thunderous verdict. Julius Malema, the leader of the Economic Freedom Fighters, EFF, has been found guilty of hate speech. The ruling has already ignited nationwide debate, but perhaps the most pressing question on everyone's mind is this: could this be the end of Malema's political career? For more than a decade, Julius Malema has been a central figure in South African politics. His fiery rhetoric, unapologetic criticism of the establishment, and radical calls for economic transformation have made him both a hero and a villain, depending on who you ask. To his supporters, he is a revolutionary voice speaking truth to power. To his detractors, he is a populist who thrives on division. Now, with this damning judgment, Malema's ability to navigate the fine line between political expression and unlawful speech faces its greatest test. The legal consequences. The ruling against Malema is not a mere slap on the wrist, it carries potential long-term consequences. Legal experts suggest that, beyond fines or sanctions, a hate speech conviction could affect his eligibility for future political positions. If the ruling is upheld through appeals, Malema could face restrictions that weaken his influence and credibility at a critical moment when his party seeks to expand its reach ahead of upcoming elections. The political fallout. Within the EFF, the judgment has created both a rallying cry and a risk of internal strain. The party, which has always revolved around Malema's personality and leadership style, may find itself under pressure to demonstrate resilience. Some loyalists have already declared that the ruling only strengthens their resolve to support him, casting Malema as a victim of a political system afraid of his bold ideas. Yet, others privately worry that prolonged legal battles and negative headlines could erode the party's appeal to undecided voters who may view the conviction as proof of reckless leadership. Public perception, strength or weakness. The biggest unknown is how ordinary South Africans will interpret the verdict. For his supporters, the conviction could reinforce their perception of Malema as a fearless fighter targeted for daring to challenge the status quo. For his opponents, it cements him as a dangerous figure whose words carry consequences too grave to ignore. The middle ground, those who remain undecided about him, could prove decisive in shaping whether this moment becomes a stepping stone or a stumbling block in his career. Could this be the end? Speculation is already swirling about Malema's political future. Will he remain at the helm of the EFF, fighting back harder than ever? Or will mounting legal troubles, reputational damage, and electoral pressure chip away at his influence? South Africa's political history shows that scandal does not always end a career. In some cases, it reinvigorates leaders by casting them as martyrs. Malema himself has repeatedly turned controversy into momentum. The difference this time, however, lies in the seriousness of the judgment and the broader questions it raises about leadership, accountability, and the boundaries of political speech. The national and global stakes. This case is about more than one man. It is about South Africa's democracy and its ability to balance free expression with social responsibility. International observers are closely watching how the nation responds. A strong stance against hate speech may boost South Africa's reputation as a country committed to justice and human rights. But if the conviction fuels unrest and further division, it could complicate the country's efforts to project stability. For Julius Malema, the path forward is clouded with uncertainty. His next steps, whether appealing the verdict, mobilizing his base, or adjusting his political strategy, will determine whether this moment becomes the beginning of the end or just another chapter in his tumultuous career. One thing is certain: Malema's political fate now hangs in the balance. His conviction has shaken South Africa, and the echoes of this judgment will be felt for years to come. Whether it ends his career or reinvents it, this ruling ensures that Julius Malema's name will remain at the center of the nation's political debate.